Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing something slightly different because the world is slightly different. I thought during this coronavirus outbreak what I could do is bring some light and some art to the world because that is what I do. So I'm giving these free tutorials during this time. So today I'm going to do an eye tutorial because I did get a bunch of requests for eye tutorials. I'm going to do a semi-realistic eye because I will never be a hyper-realist artist because I'm just not that way. Now you might think that you want to start with an almond shape to do the eye, but what I would prefer you start with is a circle because your eyeball is in fact a full circle under the skin. This helps you kind of carve out the eye shape. Over top of the lower half of that circle you're going to do your oval, which will represent what is visible in the face as the eye. Make sure to add in a tear duct and kind of give the illusion of the skin folding over the eye as it would do with the lids. This is helpful when you have that full circle because then you can kind of guide where you want to add that upper lid like I'm adding here now. And make sure to think of the skin folding, so it's not always going to be the same fold around the eye. I kind of lighten up the line in the center of the eye to give the illusion of where it's kind of folding over in a lighter way. And then of course people all have eye bags. Everybody's got them to some degree because that's also another flock of skin, so I add that in. I'm going to be using my finger to blend because I'm messy and that's how it is. Also, please don't comment on how I hold my pencil. I know it's weird. I am a self-taught artist and I can't speak, but that's just how I hold my pencil and I do just fine holding it that way, so we're just not going to talk about it. You hold your pencil how you want to hold yours. To add some shading, you can use your finger to smudge or you can use a smudger. I just use my finger to blend. I'm adding in darker areas around the corners of your eye where obviously the shadowing is going to be slightly darker because it's going away from the light source. If you want some basics on shading, I can also cover some of those. Now for a very basic eye, I'm just going to add 3 circles on the inside. One is going to be alluding to the center of the eye, which is the darkest part of the eye, and then the 2 others, one on top and one to the side, are going to be light sources that I'm alluding to here. Now when I'm filling in the eye, what you should think about is when you actually do see an eye. Look at photos of eyes. There is a reason why they say you should study human anatomy to get better at drawing this. You need to understand the concepts of what actually make up an eye. When you look at the pigments in an eye, they're kind of almost a spidery texture. There's darker elements and lighter elements. There's the limbal ring, which is the dark outside of the iris. But you could add all those little pieces in to make your eye more realistic. So just remember when filling it in that it's not going to be just one straight color. It's going to have fragments and little spidery tendrils of different colors because just like everything in the world, it's not going to be just a blank color unless you're trying to do something more stylized or more cartoonish, in which case they do simplify the drawings down. So just do whatever feels best for you. But this is just how I do my eyes, especially if you want to add like a little bit of realism, because not crazy realistic, but a little bit, is to add that breaking up of the pigment in the eye. Remember also that when you look at an eye, it kind of, widens when there's a light source and lessens when there is a brighter light source. So with that movement, it's actually not a perfect circle. When you look really close, it does have filaments kind of coming out of it, so I also try and add that into my drawings. When adding in lashes, I think it's the most fun part of drawing an eye. I enjoy this so much. But what's good to remember is that the eyelashes kind of curve down and up, and they have different thicknesses. They're kind of lighter at the tip, and they're not perfect. They cross over sometimes, some are shorter, some are longer. And when you think of how the lashes display on an eye, they're going to be probably a little longer on the edges and shorter to the center because in the center they're going to be coming up and stretching over the eye, so that's going to be actually shorter lashes there. I'm adding in some detail with the eye bag because, let's be honest, we're all feeling a little tired right now. But it does add a little bit of realism by kind of placing the eye into something instead of just kind of leaving it floating into space. And when you add soft shading, that's a really fun way to do that. You're going to notice that some of my lines are very harsh and some of them are very soft. The balance of this is what creates an interesting piece, I find. Make sure that you're alternating your pencil pressure throughout everything. Kind of dictate when you want to have a harsh dark line versus when you want to have a softer shadow. For an eyebrow, I'm just adding in some quick flicks of the wrist. An eyebrow could be its own tutorial, I'm sure, so maybe I'll cover one in the next one for you. But really, I'm just using quick flicks of the wrist, heading towards kind of the outer end of the eye and starting around the beginning, because that's kind of where our brows naturally sit. And I'm kind of pointing all the hairs in one direction for this one, but if you want to do a realistic eyebrow, they do point in different directions, so it's worthy to look and study the patterns of different eyebrow hair growth. Doesn't that sound exciting? I know, I'm excited too. But really, as an artist, you never stop learning. I'm going to add a little bit of like imperfections around here with like just a little bit of pointillism that kind of alludes to pores and skin texture and all that gritty stuff. But it's just a fun addition, and sometimes that's most fun than most of the drawing itself. But make sure that is what you do when you have fun with this. I'm darkening the limbo ring a little bit. It's just to have a lot of fun, because that's what drawing's all about for me, and learning and picking up new tips and tricks. It's my favorite thing about drawing. So I hope this video helped you. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this if you like this kind of video, and I will do more for you. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.